Hi, welcome to my card and a cuppa for Wednesday, what are we, the 3rd of December 2025. My name's Denise McCabe and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia on the New South Wales Central Coast. So welcome. Now, I did have to pre-record this video because I've got an appointment at the time I'm meant to go live. So there are a couple. I think next Wednesday I'm going to have to pre-record, and another Monday I'm going to have to do a different time on the Monday. It's just a busy couple of weeks leading up to Christmas for everybody, so I thought I'd pre-record rather than not do anything. So here we are, pre-recorded for Wednesday the 3rd of December. So this is my 12 weeks of Christmas, and we are actually up to week 10. Although that doesn't say it's 2 weeks to Christmas, there are 3 weeks to Christmas. 1, 2, 3, yes. So don't panic. So I'm finishing my 12 weeks of Christmas the week before Christmas. So that's how it works. So this is week 10. And it's not going to be a sketch today. I'm going to make some little gift bags using half a sheet of designer series paper. I'm on a mission to get rid of a lot of my designer series paper. Use it up. And that's what I want you to do. Use up your designer series paper so you can clear some of your stash out. So these little gift bags can be used with any papers. It doesn't have to be Christmas. It can be used for any papers, any time of the year if you want to put a little gift into them. So they're really good little one to have in your collection. So let's go down to the craft desk and we can get started. I will talk about product of the month, which is a new promotion that started yesterday. Yes, yesterday. And so we'll talk about that too. So let's go down to the craft desk. Okay, so product of the month is a new promotion they've started. For many years, they've done Celebration in January and February. And Celebration was where you would spend $90 or $100 and you could choose a free item. So they've decided to do away with Celebration now, and they're going to do Product of the Month every month. So this is December's. This is the first month, and this is December. December's Product of the Month. It's the True Blue Florals Designer Series paper. So how Product of the Month works, I'll move this up. You get this exclusive product for only $9 when you spend $125 or more in a single order. So, and it's while supplies last. So if you're wanting to place an order and it's over $125, you can choose to spend another $9. No, that's not right. You can choose to add this product for December, which is the True Blue Florals Designer Series paper, into your order for only an additional $9. So that's how it works. It's 12 by 12 Designer Series paper. It's a full pack like normal, and you get 2 sheets of 6 double-sided designs. This is the item number if you're wanting to know it. It's 167970. So that is the month of December's product of the month, and as I said, it's only while supplies last. So in January we'll have a different product of the month. Okay, so here is what we're going to create today. So these are 2 little gift bags I've made with half a sheet of designer series paper. Now you can see that they're quite different in height and quite different in width. But they both use a 6 by 6 piece of 6 by 12 piece of designer series paper, and I think they're just a great little way of making a gift bag for friends, work colleagues. Yeah, and you can just stick whatever you like inside them. So I'm gonna make one of each, and I'll show you how we make it. So let me just think about which one I'm going to make first. I've got my little notepad here, so let me just, that's this one. If I do that one first, and that's that one. Okay, let's let's have a go. But before we start, I'm using the, what am I using? The Jar of Joy the Jar Bundle Builder, the Jar Builder Punch and the Jar of Joy stamp set, which is an online exclusive, just to create a little image for the front. So let's do our stamping first, and I do have a piece here, and I've got a little bit of gold foil to cut our lids out. So let's just do our stamping, and then we can go ahead and have that all ready for when we make up our bag, our little gift bag. So I'm just going to stamp our jar first. Stamp it twice because I'm going to have a go at making both the bags. So when it gets to like the pointy end of Christmas, like December, and I'm going to do the bauble stamp because I think that's sort of generic. You don't, you know, and we're using a Modern Christmas Designer Series paper, so I don't think I've got any more of the bauble paper left, but I think it just looks nice with the baubles in the jar. So let me just put my baubles in my jar and bring this over and put them in the jar. There we go. So that's all the stamping we're doing. I shall get rid of my ink pad and put this back in here. And I'm not going to punch them out just yet. We might leave that, but I will just grab my blends and just grab cherry cobbler, dark old olive, and dark daffodil delight. So I'm just going to colour in my baubles. There's not a lot of colouring to be done, so I'm just going to colour in some of them, and I'm going to do them different on my two different jars. That's my daffodil delight. This is my dark old olive. Well, I want dark, and I think I want light old olive. And I'll do this one in the old olive. And I'll do the bauble on this one in old olive. So it's really easy to colour in. There's not a lot to it. This jar of joy no, it's not a bundle. Jar of Joy stamp set that matches the jar punch. The stamp set's an online exclusive. And this is dark cherry cobbler. I'm always a little bit careful with the cherry cobbler. It's an ink I seem to do terrible things with. So that's that one, and this is just a bauble down here. Let's just colour that in. It's an unforgiving colour, I find. You can drop it on your cardstock, you can smudge it on your cardstock. Well, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just not very good with cherry cobbler. That could be it. Okay, let's get rid of those. And I will grab my Winker Stella and put a little bit of sparkle on our baubles. And that can be sitting over to one side drying whilst we do the creating of the bag. The little gift bag. So just colour Winker Stella on here. Puts a little bit of the sparkle and glimmer. And everything should have a bit of a glimmer at Christmas time. Okay. So there are two jars done, ready to be punched out. Don't think you can see the sparkle. and that's my little bit of scrap gold foil, so I'll put that to one side, and we shall make this one first. So I'm using some of the rest of my Modern Christmas Design Series paper. Look how much, I don't have a lot left. Isn't that exciting? I think it's exciting because I normally have so much Christmas paper left over. We won't talk about the traditions of Christmas because we have a lot of that left over. But I've gone through that one pretty well, and I'm proud of myself. Okay, and I've got another piece for the other one. So let me move that over and bring in my trimmer. So as I said, it is 6 by 12 piece of Designer Series not cardstock, Designer Series paper. So if it's directional, just be mindful how you cut it. You do need to cut it this way if it's your directional piece of paper, so your baubles aren't going to be on the side, because then when you turn it around it goes like that. So just if it's directional, be mindful of that. These pieces I've got tonight today aren't directional. So on the 12-inch side, we're going to score it at 3.5 inches. That's right. 5.5 inches. 9 inches. And 11 inches. And you can't see these score lines very well, but once we fold them, you'll be right. And then we're going to flip it to the 6-inch side. And I should have brought a bottle of water with me. We're going to score it at 1 1/4, and that is going to be the base of our bag. That's 1 1/4 inches, and then we're going to slide it along, and at 5.5 inches we're going to score it, and that's going to be the top of our little bag. So I can get rid of that for the moment. That's going to fall down anyway. And let me grab my bone folder. Now, as I said, you can't see these score lines very well because it's you just can't. Let's just say. Okay, let's just turn that over. So this one has, you turn it the top over and you get a little contrast with your other side of your paper, which is a really nice sort of effect to have. And then we're going to find our scores. Here they are. I'm just going to finger like score them. It's easier not on the foil side to find them. Okay, so you can see I've got all that scored, and we're going to grab our paper snips, and we're just going to take this little piece off here like so. That's rubbish. I would not be keeping that. And then we're going to cut on our score lines from the base up to the score line. Move it along from the base up to the score line, and from the base up to the score line. Okay, so that's that. Now we just need to decide which way we want the paper facing. Do we want this on the outside or that on the outside? I think I want this on the outside, so I'm going to turn it down this way, and that's going to become our trim at the top of this box. So I am going to use my no-name snail. You could use glue, and I'm just going to run that straight down there. And then I've got that on my glass mat, which I didn't want to do. And then you're going to just fold that over and press it down. And if you've got any adhesive where you don't want it, just give it a bit of a rub. And if you've got it on your glass mat where you don't want it, just get your cloth that comes with the glass mat out, which is damp. That's why I keep it in a plastic bag, and it gets the adhesive off your glass mat. So I keep my cloth or chamois in my little Ziploc bag. Squish the air out. And just keep it here on my desk so I can wipe my glass mat down. So that's got that sorted. Now we're going to fold it back the way we want it. So we want the gold foil part on the outside. Okay, and this is going to be where we glue. Once again, I'm going to bring in my silicone sheet because I don't want to get tape runner on my glass mat again. And I am going to use my my seal. And I'm going to use that. You could use glue, but I'm just going to persevere with the seal. Seal. That's it, I've done it. Okay. Now we're going to just fold that over, and this comes over and meets it. And you just need to line it up so that you've got it all lined up. Like this edge lines up with the score line. That's what I'm trying to say. And then you can just press down. And that gives you the shape of your little bag. These are just going to all fold in. Now, this is where I think I will revert back to glue. So I'm going to put glue on my two side flaps for the bottom. And I'm going to, where's my, if you really want your seam here to be at the back, then fold that down and bring that one in and just hold there for a minute. And then you want to just put a little, because this doesn't go all the way, so you just want a little bit of glue on the edge and fold that in and hold it down. Now if you want to, you can turn it over at this point and just get your bone folder and just press things down in there. Does that make sense? I hope it does. And just because we've used glue, I'm going to just let it set before we do the next bit. I might bring in my jars, and we're going to punch that out. So you just line it up in your punch, but you could decorate the front any way you like. You don't have to have the jar of joy set. You could stamp a sentiment, cut it out with the circle punch. We don't want that piece, so put that there, and I might just punch this one out as well while we've got the punch in action. I just thought this was a cute way of decorating up the front of the little gift bag. Now I've got my gold foil, and I'm just going to stick my punch in just enough to get the lid on our jar. So I'm going to stick that in there and get one lid. That's scrap, and I'll move it across and stick that in there. That's another lid. That's scrap. I don't think I'll keep that. I think I've gotten enough out of that piece of gold foil. And that's our two little jars done. And I am going to grab my no-name snail and just put it on the back of that and attach it to the top of my jar. That looks pretty good. And I'll do my other one now too. And this silicone mat is so good because it just does help. You know, you don't get gunk all over you. Well, that didn't work, did it? That's because I've got no snail down the bottom and I've got it up the top. You don't get gunk all over you glass mat or your paper or whatever you work on. Your work surface. How about that? Let's call it the work surface. There we go. So that's my two little jars put together. So I'll just move that out of the way. And so this has come back. So that's all glued down now. And it's got a little trim at the top. See how your different papers can look so different? Oh, that's shining terribly. Okay, so I am going to get my old crocodile. We used to sell this many moons ago. And I'm going to get my crocodile in. And if you want to be really pedantic, this is 3.5 inches. And I can't see a thing with that one because it's a clear one. Or you can do, no, let's do 3.5 inches. Okay, so I'm going to put a pencil mark at 1 3/4 because that'll be the center. 3.5, 1 3/4, yeah, that's right. On both sides, a little pencil mark, just so I know where I'm going to punch my hole. 1 3/4, or you can just eyeball it. I'll leave that up to you. And with the crocodile, you had a larger one, which was 3/16 of an inch, and this one, I'm not sure what this one was. Does it say 1/8? So if you've got a hole punch that's like 3/16 or 1/4 of an inch circle punch, and I'm just going to put it in the top of our little strip up here. I'm going to punch it. There we go, and I'm going to turn it round, and on my pencil mark I'm going to line it up again and punch it. There we go. So I'll move that to one side. I love my crocodile. I kept it for a long time. Okay, now we're going to pick up, oh, my little lid's not stuck on properly. Come on, you can stick on better than that. There we go. I'm going to grab some dimensionals. I'm going to put them over my lid as well. So I'm putting them over the jar and the lid to hold the lid in place. Okay, that's that. And I'll just use this one. There we go. Perfect. And I'm just going to place this here in the center. I'm using my hole as coming down. I'm going to put it here. No, I'm not going to put it there because I'll tell you why. That's where my seam is. I'm going to turn it over. And I've got no seams here, so that's why. I'm going to just bring it down from the hole, which I know is in the center. I'll put my little jar on. I'll put my hand in and just press it down. And then you're just going to pinch the sides in. So you don't actually have to score. You can just pinch them in like so. And I have got some retired cherry cobbler ribbon with gold trim. And I thought, you know what? Let's use it up. Because we've all got retired stuff. But there would be plenty of ribbons, current ribbons in our catalogue that you could use. You don't have to use retired stuff, but if you have retired stuff, you use it up. Now you could fill this with little chocolates. You could fill it with all sorts of things. I'll show you what I'm going to put in it once I've tied my bow. This was beautiful ribbon back in the day. Goodness only knows what year that came out. Okay, and I'm just going to make sure I've got enough left over so that when I untie that, I can so it's stuck properly. I'm just making sure. Okay, so now when I untie it and open it up, I've got this little cake of soap that I've bought. Where's my... Take the price off. This was at the little shop that my cards are in now, and look at that. We don't want to leave a price on. Get off my fingers. Goodness, it's stuck. There we go. This will fit in. It's a little square, goat milk and raw honey. That will fit in there, and I can tie this up, and that's my little gift to a friend of mine. Okay. Oh, some more fingers and thumbs. I always say that, don't I? Anyway, you can see what I mean. I'll take that out for the moment. Let's just bring this back together, and we can stand them all up together. Oh, bear with me. Okay, that's not the best ribbon I've ever done in my life. A little bow? Goodness lordy lordy. There we go. Let's just try that. That's not the best. But anyway, so there's our two that's got a little turnover at the top. And you can see that you could fill that up with chocolates, tie a better bow than I did, and give that to people. You could have it on your place setting at Christmas on your table, but it's just a little tiny bag using half a sheet of 12 by 12 designer series paper. Okay, that's that one. Now I'm going to have a go and see if I can make this one. I've only done this one once, so I'm hoping I can do it. So let's bring trimmer back in, and now I'm getting so many things all over my desk. Move that to one side, then I won't be able to find them. Put my trimmer back in, and I've got this piece, so it's not directional, so I don't think it really matters which way I cut it. Now we're going to score at 2 inches on the 6-inch side. Get rid of my cutting blades. I'll do it. I don't think which side's going to be best. I don't know. The gold foil or the black. So that's at 2 inches. So that's going to be on the 6-inch side, and this will become the base of our bag. When it's designer series paper, you do have to be a bit careful that you don't score and cut through it. But this has got foil in it, so it is a little bit sturdier than most of the papers. We're going to turn it around, and we're going to score it at 2 3/4, 5 1/2, 8 1/4, and 11. Okay, so that's the scoring for this one. And let's just, I'm going to do the foil on the outside, so I'm going to fold it up on the score lines. Just fold it over on your score lines that are a little bit tricky to see on this paper. Very tricky to see. There we go, that's that one. This is this one. Let's see this one here. There we go. So once you've got your score lines sort of sorted, it's not too bad. Okay, so now I think the foil is easier. I'm going to take this one off here. This is the end piece. I'm not going to keep that. And I'm just going to I think this is what I did. Just take a little snip off here just to make it sit better together, and then once again we're going to cut from the base up to the score line. You could do this with cardstock. It would be a little bit thicker and maybe a little bit harder. I always like using my papers. And I'm just making sure I've got that score line nice. Okay, get rid of these. Or what, or not. Okay, so now this is our glue piece, and once again we're just going to fold it straight over. So let me score it with my bone folder and get really good score lines happening. Okay. And I will get rid of these because they're annoying me. Okay, so this is going to get our seal. And we're going to put it down. There we go. And I'm going to fold this back over, so that's going to go there, and this is going to come across. This edge is going to meet up with this score line, like so. And there's the making of this little nugget. And that's just all going to fold in, like so, or the other way, if you want it to. They don't actually come all the way across. So that looks alright. And we're going to pinch that in as well, but we're going to do that differently. Okay, so now we need to, what do we need to do? Just thinking, how's the best way of doing this? I don't think glue's a good way for this one. Let's do a seal. And let's just try that to start with. And we're going to fold this one in like so. That one in and that one in. Did I get that right? Let me just pull that off and make sure. Just like so. Okay, and that's your base, and once again just press down with your bone folder to secure it all down there. Okay, now we are going to press it in like that. So they're quite different shape. This is more square than the other one, but before we do that, we're going to grab our ruler again, and these are 2 3/4. So what's that? That's not 1 1/4. You know what? I'm going to eyeball this one with my crocodile. I'm going to eyeball it. Because if you push it in like that and do it together, you are going to clip some of these. You're going to clip the side bits. So I am going to eyeball this and do it like so. And eyeball it. And do it like so. Get rid of my old crocodile. And before we do anything else, we're going to grab our little jar and put some dimensionals on the back. Oops. It's funny not talking to you as I'm doing these. But recording works. I used to always record all my videos. I was too scared to go live. So there you go. There's a little secret omelette out of the bag. Okay, I'm going to put my little jar of joy down the bottom here. Press it on. And then you pinch it together. And once again, I'll get rid of that. You get your ribbon, retired or new or current. whichever you've got in your collection. And this doesn't have to be current paper. If you've got a paper collection, a paper stash like I've got, go for it. Use up your papers. Half a sheet of 6 by 12 or half a sheet of 12 by 12. You get these little gift bags. Bring it in, tie it up, and cut it off. So there you go. There's that one. My bows are a bit gargantuan, but anyway, it's nice to have them gargantuan. So that's that little one, and here are the others. So you can see, I won't use that one because the foil on that one seems to, you can see how they're quite different in shape. This one is more rectangular and a little bit wider. This one is a bit squarer and a little bit squatter because our base is deeper. So they're our little 6 by 12 gift bags for today. So let me get rid of that, get rid of that. So let me come back to face view. There we go now. Now look at me. It's gotten dark. I'm doing this at night. Hang on. Ah, that's even worse. It's time to go. So there are little gift bags for today. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Use up your papers. This is great ways of using up your paper. These are great little bags just to put a little handful of chocolates in, to give to work colleagues, friends, neighbours, on your place settings on Christmas Day, for you, around the table, all sorts of things like that. And it's a great way to use up your papers. So before I get in complete darkness and I'm in the shadows completely, I will say goodbye. I hope you're having a great day and a great week, and I will see you, what's next Monday? Next Monday is the 8th of December. Yep, I'll be live for that one. I will see you next Monday for Make It Monday. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye for now.